Hey folks, Steve Johnson here. I'm here to talk to you about the new LiveTrak L-8, which just came in the mail yesterday. I've used a lot of Zoom products over the years. In fact, I'm recording this on another Zoom product as we speak. What I want to do today is get you going from 0 to 60 on this LiveTrak L8 as quickly as possible. If you're new to mixers, it can be fairly intimidating. If you're not new to mixers, it's going to be perfectly clear for you. You won't have any trouble with it at all because it all uses the same kind of logic as you would find on any mixer. But let's back up a little bit. Let's say we just took this thing out of the box. We're going to want to figure out how to power it on. The first thing I did is I put some batteries in it. It runs on 4 AA's if you want to use those. I don't know how long it lasts running on those batteries. Maybe an hour, maybe 10 minutes, maybe all day. Who knows? I don't know that much yet. But here's the 5-volt input that you can use as well too, that comes with it, with a little wall connector you can use. And basically what it is, it's that mini micro USB connector. Now, the only problem I see with this is it's a fairly delicate connection. So you want to be careful about putting it in and out of there. So I'm going to slide that in there. And they've got a little deal here where you can route this around here to kind of protect the cable a little bit, which I think is a good idea. So if you got her set up like that, you'll be in good shape. So now I'm plugged into the wall. All right. So every mixer has different sections, and they have done a good job of sectioning this mixer off. So it's very easy to understand exactly what's going on with it. Now, they send you this little skinny book with it. And this little skinny book, unfortunately, just has the very basics in it. You're going to want to go to the Zoom website in your language and download the actual documentation that they have on the website. It's much more clear and concise, and we'll get you around all the little things that you want to do. So here we are. These are our input sections up here. You see we have the ability to connect up 6 XLR inputs. These inputs also are standard 1/4-inch inputs. If you wanted to plug in a guitar or something like that, you have the ability there. There's some switching controls for these inputs to determine, for you to make a decision about what kind of thing you have connected up to it. Do you have a guitar connected up to it that you need a high Z input, or is it a preamped type input where you'd need a lower input impedance? So those are what those little switches are there for. Let's go ahead and turn it on, which is the switches right around the back here. It goes through a little setup process. The other thing I'll tell you is if you've used Zoom products at all, this will feel real familiar. The menus are similar in how they operate and the flow of the varying Zoom products, whether you've used the HN1 or the H4n, and any of the other things, including the R24, R16, those digital recorders, which I've used in the past as well. All has a very similar feel to it, so I think you won't have a big problem with it. Now, a couple things that make this device handy for podcasting, which is really what we're focusing on here. Obviously, you could have 6 different people with 6 different microphones in the room at one time. You can have 4 people monitoring. These are 4 headphone outputs up here. Everybody can listen to the main mix, or 3 people could listen to a different mix. Now, this is better for a band setup. If you wanted to up the vocals or something like that to individual headphone mixes, you can do that through here. So most of the time, one person, however many people you have in the room, are going to be monitoring it. So it's really handy that that's built in there for up to 4. You make the decision with these switches whether you're going to listen to the main mix or whether you're going to set up a special mix for each one of these. So the easiest thing to do, flip all these up to main. They're all listening to the same thing. We're going to focus on the easy stuff in this video. So now we have to have a channel set up so that we can take input. So what I'm going to use is a standard SM58 microphone made by Shure. Every musician in the world knows what these are. I'm going to use that as my input mic here today. I got a little shorty mic cord I'm going to plug in. And I'm going to plug this in up here into input number 1. Then I'm going to go about setting my gain. And I set my gain by turning this knob right here. Now, when my gain is too high, it'll turn red. And that based on a couple things, right? Based on the proximity I am to the microphone, as well as how loud I'm speaking. So if I'm speaking very softly, I can get away with that. But if I'm going to keep the mic right here, I'm going to want to drop that gain down just a little bit. Now, you'll notice that the gain, this does not affect what the gain is because this is pre this slider. This slider feeds to the recording console and to the mixer console outputs how much is being recorded, okay? So normally we put that on what we call unity gain, which is 0 right in the middle. So that's always the kind of the good place to start. All right, so this microphone is now basically set up. And as you can see, I've got little things flashing and everything going on there doing that for me. So the next thing I want to do is I want to start, let's say I want to record a microphone, and then I want to have a conversation with somebody on the phone, all right? So I'm going to set this down right now. They send this cute little cord with you, with the device. It's got a bunch of little connections on here. This is actually a phone connection cable that will allow you to talk and listen on a phone without having to hold it. So I'm going to take a industry standard Army issue junky little iPhone here, plug that into this, and then I'm going to plug it into this little thing right here in the center. When I do that, I'm going to use this button to select the phone. You can see there's a little phone icon there. These other things, you'll notice that these lights went off. This is the sound pad. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. So now I can't use this particular sound pad on this channel because I've got this phone thing set up here, okay? I can still use this sound pad, which I'll do, and I'll show you how that works here in just a second. So now we're actually set up. We're going to want to have some gain on this. So we're going to want to have our phone feeding into it. It works on track 8. So anything we do on our phone now is going to come in on track 8. Okay. So that's quickly now we're recording this. We're recording this over here. Now, if I actually want to record these items, I have this button over here on recorder. Again, I'm jumping past a lot of settings right now just to kind of get you going with this thing. I have this set on recorder. I want to choose this one to record. So I turn it red. I want to record this right here. So I turn it red. And for fun, I'm also going to record some of these little background noises and stuff that you can make with this thing, with this little intro. You can assign these buttons to be any little wave file so that when you press it, it plays a little wave file. So I'm going to turn that on too, and I'm going to give myself unity volume on that as well. So now I'm unity all the way across. And I may actually, so I can hear what's going on here, I'm going to put on a set of headphones, and I'm going to plug those headphones into this right here. Now, it doesn't matter whether I plug them in here or whether I plug them in over here. I do need to put the master level up just a little bit. Everything is feeding through the master, okay? So I'm going to pick this up right now. I've got my microphone picked up. Now I could take this and put it over here. Because I have these switches all the way to the top, these all 4 are doing exactly the same thing. All right, I have my recorder ready. I'm using the default project that came with it, which I'll show you how to set up a project later. I'm going to press the record button here. Boom. That gets things armed, and you'll see things starting to flash. And then I'm going to hit play. And if you watch right here, you can see that we're recording already. Okay, my levels look good. Maybe a little bit weak on the mic over here. I'm going to press one of these nifty buttons up here and show you what that sounds like. Here, for example, is an intro sound. Well, folks, welcome. Anyway, so you see how that works. You can assign anything down there, including making your own recording on those, and I'll show you later on a later date, if more than 2 people listen to this video, how to do some of that stuff. So while we're recording, let's make a phone call and see if we can get a hold of somebody and talk to them. Let's see. I'm going to pick up the phone here and give this person a call. We'll see if our guest answers. She might just send us to voicemail thinking it's a spam call.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is this the person to whom which I'm speaking?
Yes, it is.
Very good. Well, you are the very first guest using the new LiveTrak L-8 mixer. I know you're excited to know that.
Ooh, what's my prize?
I'm not sure. It seems like we have a bad connection. So anyway, thank you for your time today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So there you have it, folks. So that is how we made a phone call. We called that person. They could call us, obviously, too. If they call us, you're going to get the little ringing sound on here, just like you would expect. And, we can add some more effects in here. Those are some of the built-in ones. If we wanted to do on this thing here, now that we're done talking to that person, I don't know if we can switch this live. Yes, we can. Now we could go over here and do some A little bit of applause we can add in there just like that. We control the level of what's being sent out by moving these sliders here. I went ahead and recorded one myself just to try it out. Dude. And that's what it does. So when you press this button, dude, it says dude. It's that easy. I just recorded it through this same microphone. So all very simple to do. We're done recording now, so we're going to press the stop button. Then all we have to do to listen to it is do a rewind. You see we recorded 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Is do a rewind by clicking rewind and then hitting the play button, and that will play what we just recorded back for us. Now, there's a whole lot of other things we can do, including an audio interface and everything else with this device, and it has some complexity to it, but it really is pretty simple once you figure out how to do it. And again, if more than 1 or 2 people look at this video, I'll get some more in depth with how to use the LiveTrak L-8, which I think is going to be a real winner. Have a great day.